It's the happiest kingdom of them all, only new and improved. Welcome once again to Tulgey TV, where every Tuesday you'll find a brand new video about who knows what madness. Today, we're talking about the new Fantasyland at Disneyland. New as of 1983, that is. In 1955, when Disneyland was being constructed, Walt Disney and his Imagineers envisioned a charming village within the courtyard of Sleeping Beauty Castle. But time and money were tight. So eventually, Fantasyland ended up with a medieval tournament theme with flat exteriors featuring banners and shields. In 1982, it was decided to recreate Fantasyland from the ground up and fulfill Walt Disney's vision for what he called the happiest kingdom of them all. So on May 25th, 1983, Fantasyland was rededicated, and you can see that ceremony here on the cover of Disney News magazine. Here we have this great Maleficent towering near the castle, and she is outraged at the happiness that people will experience at the new Fantasyland. And so she's out to bar any guests from ever entering Sleeping Beauty Castle. Luckily, Prince Philip is on hand, and he vanquishes the evil fairy so that he, Princess Aurora, and all the invited guests could enter the new Fantasyland. Interestingly, among the guests were the now-grown children from opening day, July 17, 1955, who crossed over the drawbridge into Fantasyland with their own children on hand. And it's also very cool that this was only the second time in Disneyland history that the drawbridge to Sleeping Beauty Castle had been lowered. Once Prince Philip had vanquished Maleficent and he was inside the castle, he and Princess Aurora appeared on the balcony to welcome everyone to the new Fantasyland.
Make a pink.
So it was a great dedication of the new Fantasyland with great pomp and pageantry, a really classic Disneyland event. Naturally, with so much time, effort, money, and TLC devoted to the reimagining of what Walt Disney called this timeless land of enchantment, Disneyland really wanted to get the word out that here was a very special reason to visit Disneyland. One way Disney did this was this special publication, which was a supplement for Sunday newspapers in the Southern California area. This particular copy is my own from the Los Angeles Times. So it has that nifty logo for the new Fantasyland, and it has this wonderful art of the skyline of the new Fantasyland, plus wonderful little details, including concept art, a painting of Mr. Toad as Blue Boy, Mr. Smee and Mr. Smee and Captain Hook representing Peter Pan's flight, and of course, the mural and some details from the brand new attraction, Pinocchio's Daring Journey. Now, Pinocchio will be back in this video later on, so be sure and stay tuned. And also, if you're enjoying this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and make sure that you subscribe. And stay tuned for more Pinocchio, but here's some more Pinocchio right here. Here's this great carved Jiminy Cricket detail from the wood-like ride attractions that reflect Geppetto's workshop and his wood carving skill. On the back is more concept art for Dumbo the Flying Elephant, because that attraction was moved deeper into Fantasyland, taking the place of Captain Hook's pirate ship and Skull Rock. Now this is really cool, and as it says, it's the new Disney collectible. This was a special commemorative ticket for Disneyland so that you could experience the new Fantasyland. It was only available while supplies last, through the end of July 1983, so don't even think about ordering it. It's a special edition commemorative passport, and it says each numbered ticket is good for 2 days admission to Disneyland. Better yet, it's a cherished addition to any Disneyana collection. So in other words, buy the ticket and then please never use it. Now, even more elaborate than the Sunday newspaper supplement was this beautiful program, which has this wonderful, naturally, Sleeping Beauty Castle themed cover with this beautiful window where you can look outside into Fantasyland. And there's all kinds of wonderful photography showing the new details. Fantasyland through the years with lots of historic photos. And then all kinds of color photographs of the new Fantasyland with all the enhancements and the beautiful new exteriors for the attractions. On the east side of the newly cobblestone walkway, guests found Mr. Toad's Wild Ride and Peter Pan's Flight, two British stories which had very elaborate and very inviting and very beautiful new exteriors. For instance, you entered Peter Pan's Flight through a clock tower that has a real Old English feel. And then Toad Hall, of course, is a country manor house. In other words, Toad Hall, complete with a coat of arms and Mr. Toad himself in the form of a statue over the entrance. And there's all kinds of wonderful little details, such as the weather vane on Peter Pan's Flight, which has the crocodile. On the west side of the Fantasyland walkway, you'll find the world of Pinocchio and Snow White, so the theming is Bavarian or an Alpine-type village. The Evil Queen's castle houses the newly named Snow White's Scary Adventures to try to signal to guests that small children, and sometimes big children, are scared by the more frightening elements of the Snow White story. And that also brings us right here to 2022, because the Snow White attraction has been renamed yet again. Now it's Snow White's Enchanted Wish. And you can hear Dean Brinkerhoff's description of that attraction in our Digging the Details episode about Disneyland favorites. So be sure and check that out. Here's more art and more details about the new attractions, including the Mad Tea Party, which has been moved to serve as the basis of a new Alice in Wonderland area within New Fantasyland. And the Alice in Wonderland ride-through will premiere the following year in 1984. And this reflects exactly what happened with the original Fantasyland, because the Alice in Wonderland attraction debuted after the rest of Fantasyland. Now, as I said, we would be seeing more of Pinocchio in this video, and here we go. Because the emphasis was really on this brand new, created just for the new Fantasyland attraction, Pinocchio's Daring Journey, the first dark ride that had been introduced in Fantasyland since Alice in Wonderland. So this was really a big deal. And because of that, there was a great focus on Pinocchio with the opening of the new Fantasyland. So here they are on the cover of this issue of Disney News. And this photograph was taken before the exteriors of the new Fantasyland were completed. So what better place to pose the Pinocchio characters than in the Pinocchio section of Storybook Land? And we have some wild scale going on here with the miniature buildings of Storybook Land and the oversized costumed characters, especially Jiminy Cricket. It's a giant cricket! Come to squash the buildings! Run! It really is like something out of a Japanese horror film. Another little bit of history here is that Tokyo Disneyland was being built at the same time as the new Fantasyland. And of course, attractions were needed for Tokyo Disneyland. So it was decided to have a duplicate version of Pinocchio's Daring Journey in Fantasyland in Tokyo. But the way it all worked out is that it actually ended up premiering in Tokyo before it did at Disneyland here in California, a month before, as a matter of fact. So it's kind of ironic that it was intended for Disneyland and then ended up debuting somewhere else. But such is the life of a puppet. So important was Pinocchio to the new Fantasyland that he kind of ended up becoming a symbol of the new Fantasyland. Now you can see here in the logo that Tinkerbell is present as always. She was a symbol of Disneyland from the start in 1955. Pinocchio was really in the spotlight, as here on the magazine cover, and also on merchandise and souvenirs, such as this great pennant. So here we have again the wonderful logo of the new Fantasyland, but who is here to adorn this 1983 pennant but Figaro, Jiminy Cricket, and Pinocchio himself. So I hope you've enjoyed this brief look at the new Fantasyland of 1983. We hope you'll be with us next time for a brand new video. which will have costumes by Adrian, color by Deluxe, and of course, music by Duval. See you then.